Everyone. Today I have come up with a very important and interesting concept in programming language, that is how we are going to calculate a factorial of a given number. If we are asked what is the factorial of 5, then simply we are going to say 120. But how actually we are going to calculate and say that it is 120? What we do actually is we are going to multiply all the positive integers less than or equal to 5. That is 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. So this is how we are going to calculate factorial of any given number. So let's go into the formal definition, that is the factorial of a number n is the product of all positive integers less than or equal to n, and it is denoted by n factorial. And there are some key points to remember before writing a program, that is a factorial cannot be negative. Now let's understand the logic of how to write the code to calculate factorial of a number. So you can find the factorial of a given number by multiplying numbers 1 to n, like factorial of 3 is 1 into 2 into 3. Here we need a loop which runs from 1 to n. Each time we increment the value and multiply up to given n value. By this we can get factorial of a number n. We don't start with 0 because we multiply any number with 0. The answer is 0. So that is the reason first we are going to take a variable. We are going to initialize that variable with. Let's start the code. First we are going to start with a comment, find factorial of a number. Then we are going to write the preprocessor directive, that is hash include stdio.h. Then int main, where the actual program starts. We are going to open the curly brackets. Let me take a data type int, variable I, and also fact. So I have already declared fact, so let me initialize fact with 1. I cannot initialize fact with 0 because here we are going to do the operation, that is multiplication. So we need to take positive integers, that is. Now let me give a comment to the user, that is enter the values of n. Printf, enter the values of n, semicolon. Then I'm going to write scanf percentile d for int data type, and I'm going to store the given value in variable. So for that I need to declare the variable n before using it, and I'm going to store it in n. Now let me enter into the for loop, that is for. I have already declared I, so I am initializing I with value 1, and then I should be less than or equal to n, and let me increment the I value by I plus plus. Let's enter into the for loop. Now we are going to do the actual calculation. So let me write the code. Fact is equal to fact into I, and close the bracket. Let me print the actual value. So printf factorial of percentile d is equal to fact, semicolon. return 0. So now let me run the code. Yeah, let me enter the value 5. Yeah, it has written 120. So we have calculated the factorial of 5. Now let's understand the code in detail. Here what happens in for loop is, and we have already initialized the variable fact with value 1. So here 1 into 1, that is 1. So 1 is going to be stored in factorial. So 1 is going to stored in variable fact. Next it is going to increment the value of I, that is I plus plus. So the value of I becomes 2. Then it is going to check the condition whether it is less than or equal to 5. Yes, it is less than 5. So we are going to enter into the for loop. So now value of fact is 1. But we are going to calculate it again, that is fact is 1 into 2, that is 2. So this value will be stored in fact variable. Every time we are updating the fact value, every time we are updating the fact value, now it is going to increment I value becomes 3. Now it is going to enter into the loop. Then it is going to calculate 2 into 3, that becomes 6. It is going to update fact value. Now fact value will become 6. It is going to increment I value, that is I becomes 4.